In this video, I'm covering the various price points of different Chicago suburbs, and I'm going to teach you everything you need to know financially when considering buying a house anywhere in the Chicagoland area. So stay tuned. What is happening, everybody? This is Austin Weiss, your go-to home advisor right here in the Chicago Metro. I do a ton of video content all about what it's like to work, eat, live, and play right here in the Chicago Metro. And I have so many people reaching out to me by phone, text, email, days, nights, weekends. So if you are thinking of making a move anywhere in the Chicagoland area, make sure to give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email, and I would love for the opportunity to connect with you and help you in any way possible with your move. All right, so today's video is going to be covering one of the most frequently asked questions I receive is, Austin, where the heck should we move to? Where should we consider living? And going off of that is, how much does it cost there? What's my monthly payment going to be? And how much down payment do I need to put up front in order to secure a house in that area? This is my updated where to live in the Chicago suburbs video because, well, since I last filmed this video, home prices have definitely increased and towns have improved their overall livability. So you're probably looking at a map of Chicagoland and you're trying to figure out where the heck you should move yourself and your family to. Chicagoland's a very big area, many different suburbs, many different neighborhoods, and it can be a bit overwhelming. So today's video is going to be a quick snapshot of different areas that I would recommend, either based on visiting them, I have friends that live there, or that I have sold homes in and they have great amenities and overall good affordability and livability. The second half of this video, I will cover the different financials based on monthly payments, for your mortgage, insurance, and definitely property taxes. That's a big one with people wanting to know that from moving out of state. I would highly recommend you check out some of my other videos. I did an entire top 10 Chicago suburbs series, which I will either link right up here later on in this video, or I'll put a link down in the description box below. Watch these videos to give yourself a better perspective on areas to consider to concentrate on when shopping for a home in the Chicagoland area, so that you know exactly which areas will fit your lifestyle. But without any further delay, let's hop right into the various price points across the Chicago suburbs. Okay, so here's the map of Chicagoland. You can see downtown Chicago and Lake Michigan on the far east side of the map, and then the dozens of suburbs that spiderweb out from downtown Chicago. I'm not going to go through each and every single suburb because this video would take way too long, but I'm going to cover the ones I've either visited in person, have lived in personally, or have sold a house in. So starting in the western suburbs, you have Naperville, Downers Grove, Wheaton, and then Glen Ellen is right here on the map. The average price point for a single family house in Wheaton is $435, Glen Ellen is $500,000, Downers Grove is $445, and Naperville is the most at roughly $540,000. Making our way north is St. Charles, Geneva, and Batavia. These three towns make up the Tri-Cities, and they all three hug the Fox River. Batavia is going to come in at the least expensive at $380,000, and both Geneva and St. Charles are roughly $430,000. Now, making our way slightly to the north, you have Barrington, Hoffman Estates, Schaumburg, and Arlington Heights. Arlington Heights is potentially the new home of the Chicago Bears. They just purchased a large plot of land there, so maybe they'll be moving their stadium from downtown Chicago there in the next decade or so. Barrington is going to be roughly $565,000. Hoffman Estates will be the least expensive at roughly $360,000. Schaumburg $375,000, and Arlington Heights $435,000. And then going further to the south and east, and I will zoom in so that you can get a better look, you have Elmhurst, Hinsdale, and LaGrange. So Elmhurst is going to be roughly $512,000, LaGrange $572,000, and Hinsdale is going to be the most expensive at just over $1 million on average for a single family house. And then I will zoom in one last time as we get further into the city. And a general rule of thumb, as you get closer to the city, you're most likely going to get less value for your money. So what I mean by that, probably less square footage for your money, and then you're also going to get a smaller lot. So right here is River Forest, and then Forest Park, and Oak Park, and then Riverside. So the average price point for River Forest is going to be $755,000, and then Oak Park and Riverside are virtually identical at an average price point of $520,000. And one detail that I did want to point out, especially if you're trying to figure out what's happening in that particular neighborhood or town, is if you're using my home search website and you zoom in on the map function, These blue lines that are outlining specific neighborhoods will give you additional details about what's happening in that particular neighborhood. So let's just click on Lake Ellen, just outside of downtown Glen Ellen. You click on Explore Neighborhood, and it gives you all the details you would ever need to learn more about that area, the homes for sale on the map in that specific spot, the schools, the market snapshot, gives you pictures of those areas, what the locals are saying, and much, much more. So definitely make sure to click on that and check it out. All right, so now that we've looked at the Chicago suburbs and what the average price points are for single-family detached homes, let's go over a little bit of the financials. This is going to cover how much house you can actually afford, which is based on a few main factors. This is what the lending institution is mainly going to concentrate on. So that's going to be your income, your credit score, and your debt-to-income ratio. A quick and simple way to calculate your debt-to-income ratio is just take your overall debt obligations per month divided by your monthly income. Lenders want to see a 36% or lower debt to income ratio. I have seen lenders go as high as 43%. However, the better the debt to income ratio is, the lower your interest rate will be and the better the terms will be on your mortgage. So this is definitely a key factor, because not only will these three things determine how much house you can afford, but it will lower your interest rate. And worst case scenario, you can always buy down your interest rate. So definitely ask whatever lending institution you're working with if that's a possibility. I did do an entire interview video with one of my top lenders. So if you want to watch that, I'll put a link right here. You can click that. We kind of went over everything you need to know about qualifying for a mortgage. We went over the mortgage lingo, because there's a lot of language used in the mortgage world that you don't probably use on a daily basis. We covered different loan programs here in Illinois and covered much, much more. So I'd highly recommend that you check that out. Now that you know what the main factors are that lending institutions look at for qualifying someone for a loan, let's discuss a monthly payment breakdown for different price points of homes at $400,000, $600,000, and $800,000. Not only will I show you what the principal and interest payments will be per month, but I'll also include what I think taxes would be for a house at that price point, also homeowners insurance, and if you're putting down less than 20%, I'll also include a PMI payment, which is private mortgage insurance. That's definitely something that you'll want to consider when determining what down payment you want to make towards a house. But let's hop onto my computer and take a look. Okay, so I'm on one of my favorite websites, mortgagecalculator.com. I will put a link in the description box below for you guys to browse on your own and plug and play with the numbers. But I would highly recommend that you look at a mortgage calculator when shopping for a house, so you understand what your monthly payment will be based on different numbers, especially your purchase price. So I put in a purchase price of $400,000 with a down payment of 15%. There's your loan amount difference, your interest rate at 5.25% over a life of loan of 30 years. I put in a property tax of roughly $8,000. That would potentially be how much your property tax obligation would be per year on a $400,000 house in Illinois. I put in private mortgage insurance of 0.5%, homeowners insurance of $1,000, and then I hit calculate, and that's roughly what your monthly payment would be. So I also did a $600,000 house. I kept everything the same. I changed the property tax slightly, the homeowner's insurance slightly, hit calculate, and you'd be just under $4,200 a month. And then let's take a look at an $800,000 house. I kept everything the same, again, other than the property tax, homeowner's insurance, and I hit calculate. So your monthly obligation would be $5,600. But let's do a higher down payment and see how that would change that number. So you hit calculate, and it's almost $1,000 less by putting 30% down. So not only will putting more money down make your offer stronger in a multiple offer situation, or any situation for that matter, but it will also reduce your monthly payment on your house. If you go back to my website, this just happens to be one of my listings right now, downtown Chicago, East Lakeview. If you scroll down to the bottom below all the information, there is a mortgage calculator right there. So you can change the purchase price, the down payment amount right here, and the interest rate on the life of the loan, and then it gives you your monthly payment based on those numbers. So I hope this tool helps, and I hope that you use this when shopping for a house. Okay, so now that you understand what it takes to qualify for a loan, you understand the monthly payment breakdown so that you guys can go do that on your own and determine what's the best scenario for yourself and your family. Let's discuss some common questions that I can address right now that I receive pretty much weekly. So one of the ones that I receive frequently are, Austin, do we have to put down 20% on a home? Technically, you do not. And I would always recommend that you do what's best for yourself and your family financially so that you're not stretching yourself too thin. If you want to use that money for investments, vacations, or whatever, I would highly recommend doing that. So find a down payment that's comfortable for yourself and your family. But I will say this, putting down 20% or more, you can do things with your offer, especially in a multiple offer situation, and be more competitive towards buying that house than you could if you were putting down less than 20%, such as putting down more earnest money, making up an appraisal gap guarantee, which is basically making up the difference between the appraisal and the purchase price if you make an offer over asking, and it's just more competitive in a multiple offer situation. So I definitely recommend putting down as much as possible you can without stretching your wallets and your bank accounts too thin. Another question that I receive frequently is, if we're moving to Illinois from out of state, how do I qualify for a loan? So basically, if you're switching jobs and you're staying within the same career field, I would highly recommend you chat with the lender to make sure that they understand that you're switching occupations or jobs, and get a letter of intent with your manager's contact information on there, along with any compensation and role information at that new job. If you're moving here from out of country, I have lenders that work with people that move here from out of country all the time, so definitely reach out to me and I will make a connection with you for a local lender here in the Chicagoland area. If you have any questions about anything I spoke about in this video or anything else about moving here to the Chicagoland area, you're always welcome to reach out to me by phone, text, email, days, nights, weekends, and I would absolutely love to connect with you and help you in any way possible with your move. But until next time, I'll catch you guys later.